Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very exciting video because we have some massive Switch 2 updates as well as some leaks that are kind of confirmed now, some Zelda stuff, some Nintendo Direct stuff, and then I have a theory about some potential Zelda remakes that I heard a rumor for a few months back, and now I feel like that theory could be true. And I'm not talking about the Ocarina of Time remake, I'm talking about other Zelda remakes. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. So before we get into this, yes, I'm still a little sick, so I sound kind of like Squidward right now. Now, Squidward, not a bad guy all things considered, right? So I don't mind sounding like Squidward, but if this is a problem for you, forgive me. I should be through this in a few days. So there's some massive Nintendo updates we have to talk about, as well as some leaks that were just confirmed about Directs, Ocarina of Time Remake. Sorry, I have something on my eye. And then other stuff as well that I'm forgetting, I'm sure. And then on top of that, somebody reached out to me and told me about some Zelda remakes a few months ago. And I thought, interesting. And then I heard nothing. Now, the way things are playing out, I think that could be a possibility. And they're probably not Zelda remakes that you're thinking of. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep the communities growing. And remember, this Thursday we are streaming. Come hang out. eShop gift card giveaways, game giveaways, all that good stuff. So come and hang out. Now let's go ahead and get right into this though. So the first thing we need to do is talk about Splatoon Raiders, right? This is a game that I want to care about, but I'm not sure if I do yet. And the reason is I've tried to get into Splatoon multiple times, right? Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3, bought them, played for like 2 hours, and it just wasn't for me. And it's a series I want to like because I think the premise or the concept is very cool. Now Splatoon Raiders I think is great because, you know, you can go find some of my videos from over a year ago, and I kept saying if Nintendo's going to do any spin-offs for the Switch 2, I think the first one needs to be Splatoon for people just like me who are interested, but the regular Splatoon games, the gameplay just doesn't click with you. Now the world of Splatoon, it seems interesting, so a spin-off could get people like me into the franchise, or, you know, people who are already fans of Splatoon, they're gonna love this. And I think it's just a great series to do a spin-off with. Now, they finally gave us a release date, and it is July 23rd, which is just a few months away, right? I think that's three months away. Wait, May, June, July. Yeah, 3 months away. I think July is also the month of Rhythm, Heaven, Groove. So we have a game for May, we have some games for July. What is going on with June? There's rumors that it's possibly going to be a Star Fox game, which should be being revealed this month sometime. At least that was a rumor. I would say, well, maybe that rumor's not going to come true. But I don't want to jump ahead because we're going to talk about Nintendo Direct stuff here in a moment. But Nate the Hate said this game is launching in the summer, like Splatoon Raiders is launching in the summer. Then he talked about a few other things. I think he even said Rhythm, Heaven, Groove is coming in the summer, or maybe he even said July before we got a release date for that. And then he talked about Ocarina of Time Remake and the Star Fox game. I feel like with this being, you know, and don't get me wrong, this is a pretty easy guess. Like, when is this game coming out? It feels like a summer game. Okay. But with him saying this game is coming out in the summer and it getting confirmed for the summer, I think this adds even more credibility to like that hour-long video he put out that mentioned all these leaks, right? So another thing he talked about in that video is a Nintendo Direct happening in June, like a massive Nintendo Direct. And with this game being revealed today, the day I'm recording this video, like the release date and the price, which we'll talk about in a moment, some people are saying, is this the end of Nintendo Directs? But I just don't see that at all, because this game wasn't even revealed to us in a Nintendo Direct, right? This was just a random trailer one day. Like, they showed this trailer off, and I think Splatoon 3 got a free Switch 2 update, I believe, as well. So it wasn't even like a, oh my god, you know, we've seen this in a Direct, I can't wait to get another Direct to talk about this game even more. Now, Star Fox is also rumored to be being revealed on the Nintendo Today app. And I feel like with that happening, it's going to be tied to Nintendo Online. You know, there's no evidence of that, but I feel like it's going to be kind of like a F-Zero 99. You just play online, it's exclusive to the Switch 2, and then we get a real new Star Fox game sometime next year or the year after. Now, a major thing we have to talk about is the price of Splatoon Raiders, because if you buy this game digitally, it is only $50, which would make this the very first $50 Switch 2 game, which is crazy. Now, me and a lot of you guys, we only like physical. And there's good news here. It is not a game key card, which is great. And you might say, well, it's first party. But we have to look at Pokemon Pocopia, even though it's technically Game Freak, but it's still first party. So I am happy. This is a true physical. I believe it's 20 gigabytes, which is, I think, even bigger than Splatoon 3, if I'm not mistaken. So there is a substantial game here. So $50 digitally, $60 physical. That's a great deal, right? Now, this is supposed to be a single-player spin-off, right? That's what we all thought. But even though it's a single-player spin-off, you can still play the game multiplayer with up to like 3 other people. So is it really a single-player game? Like, I feel like, yeah, I mean, even the first Splatoon game is technically single-player, like if you're not playing with other people at home, even though you're playing online. But I do think they had like story modes or something, so it just seems weird that single player was supposed to be the focus of this game, and now it's also multiplayer, which isn't a bad thing. I just think it's kind of funny. Now, a question people are asking, and I do think it's actually a great question. Do you think, I'm using this term loosely, but it does feel this way. Do you think the failure of Super Mario Tennis, what the hell is the game even called? Mario Tennis Fever. Do you think the failure of that game is the reason why we're getting Splatoon Raiders for $60 and $50? Because that's actually like a pretty, big discount, all things considered. I know variable pricing is technically starting with Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which is going to be $70 and $60, I think. But this is even cheaper than that. But Mario Tennis Fever was $70, which is, if any game is going to take advantage of this variable pricing, if you look at the world, the actual world, and go through all the sports, tennis is one of the most niche sports out there. I can name somebody famous, currently or in the past, from baseball, basketball, football, soccer, hockey even. I cannot tell you one single tennis player is famous. I feel like there's one in my noggin up here, but I just can't pull them out. So I personally don't understand why Mario Tennis Fever was $70, especially people in Japan don't care about tennis at all. So yeah, the game probably flopped, all things considered. So that game flopping, is that the reason why these games are getting cheaper? I don't know if that's true. It's cool that, voting with your wallet actually has real results, at least, potentially here. With Splatoon Raiders coming out in the summer, this adds credibility to Nate's huge leaks, right? Nate that hates leaks. And he talked about the Ocarina of Time remake coming the end of this year. And then I think somewhere else, maybe VGC or somebody said we're also getting a special edition Switch 2 for Ocarina of Time. That sounds amazing. But is that the only Zelda remakes that are on the horizon? Now, I have a theory here. This theory comes from some messages I got a few months back. I might have put them in a video. I can't remember if I did or not. But somebody messaged me talking about Zelda remakes, and I thought, interesting. Then I kind of found some evidence of something like that happening. Then I had somebody else separately who, I don't want to say they get everything right, but they have a really good track record, and they don't even make YouTube videos. They just kind of find patterns and stuff. They reached out to me and were like, I also heard something about these Zelda remakes. And I was like, okay, well, this sounds crazy. Now, if we look at the number one supporter, it could be a tie between Square Enix and Capcom, but Capcom, man, they are going all out on the Switch 2. They're making some of the best ports. We have Street Fighter 6, we have Resident Evil Requiem, we have Pragmata, we have something else I'm sure I'm missing. They're doing amazing work over there. They got the first special edition Switch 2 Pro Controller. They got the first third-party amiibos with Street Fighter 6, as well as Pragmata. So Capcom and Nintendo currently have some kind of weird buddy-buddy system going on that just seems to be favorable on both sides. Now, if you know anything about me, Zelda is my favorite franchise, and some of my favorite Zelda games of all time were only on handheld consoles. And one of the games that I just go back to all the time, I think it is incredible. I don't even think it needs a remake, but it would be cool, is Zelda the Minish Cap. Now, on top of that, other great handheld Zelda games are the Oracle games, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, which are kind of cool because, Pokemon was getting multiple entries on the Game Boy. I don't know if it was Nintendo or the Zelda team or Capcom or whoever that decided, well, let's make multiple Zelda games. and they unlocked like multiple things if you played one and then the other, whatever. What I'm trying to say is Capcom developed the Minish Cap and the Oracle games, and I got multiple messages saying the Oracle games are getting remade for the Switch 2. They didn't give me a deadline or a time or anything, and I just thought, well, that sounds cool, but I don't know. Now, with the way Capcom is working with Nintendo, and we have the Zelda anniversary coming up later this year, I just don't think it's too crazy that this could actually happen. If I had to guess any games that would get remade, the Minish Cap would be cool, but I think it holds up perfectly fine the way it is. I tried to go back and play one of the Oracle games, I think last year, and I actually gave up a few hours in just because there's so many better Zelda games to spend your time on currently. They're not bad, but it's just like, yeah, these things are really starting to show their age. And then we have Grezzo, I think that's the name, or Grezzo, however you say it. They remade Link's Awakening, and I think they did the Echoes of Wisdom game as well. I'm sure Nintendo's still going to do stuff with them, so what games would they work on with Nintendo for a remake? They're not going to do the Ocarina of Time remake. The Oracle games would be the perfect games to be remade, and like that bubbly, cute Link's Awakening, Echoes of Wisdom art style, and you can combine whatever's into both games into one and call it like the Oracles of Time or something like that, right? So there's no evidence of this, like no real evidence of this, but I have a strong theory this is going to happen, and I just feel like this is the perfect time to do it. Maybe we get these Oracle games this year and the Ocarina of Time remake comes out before the Zelda movie or right after, or maybe we get the Ocarina of Time remake this year, and then right after the movie we get the Oracle games, or right before it, right? The same way they did stuff with the Mario movie. They released games leading up to it and right after. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. Just start a conversation, and remember, if you made it all the way to this part of the video, if you could do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe on the way out. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter on the way out, and consider becoming a channel member. We have 17. I want to get to 20. And this Thursday, I think we're going to do a fun tier list, because I'm waiting to get a new computer, so I don't want to stream any games until I get a new computer. So we'll probably do like ranking every single Mario game or every single Zelda game of all time tier list on stream this Thursday. Come hang out. But you guys know me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace.